Everybody out there that has a job, that has a 9-to-5, knows the truth, the absolute truth, and there's no denying this truth, that it sucks. Going to work sucks. And yes, I know, coming from me, the YouTuber, the guy who gets to entertain people, I have worked those jobs. I have worked the 12-hour shift jobs. And they suck. They say, you should go out there and do what you're passionate about. And then that job just kills whatever passion you had for that thing. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about this. There's a video that's been going around on Twitter. People have been sharing it. It comes from a channel, Briley Belly 123. I don't know how to say that.
Brielle.
Google Translate, you're useless.
Brielle.
This does not help me know how to say her name correctly. Like, I apologize. I suck. I can barely read as it is. Okay, I'm a YouTuber, all right? Forgive me. But Brielle Belly 123, she put a TikTok up talking about this. She's the president of Yap City. You can check her out in the description below. And we're gonna watch what she thinks about the old 9-to-5.
I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9-to-5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and there's no way I'm going to be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, fucking duh, if I was able to walk to work and it'd be fine, but I'm not. She's upset. So
yeah. She's got college, it's her first job, first 9-to-5 job, she's got to commute, and like the housing prices in the city... Okay.
Outrageous
already.
I get on the train at 7:30 and I don't get home till like 6:15 earliest. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9-to-5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9-to-5, like if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine.
So she's like an hour and 15, hour and a half commute or whatever from work.
Yeah, probably just the traffic. It's probably just 2 miles. In
the city, yes. if she could walk, that'd be so much easier. But living in the city, and this is like we're going to continue with the video, but there'll be some old people in the chat or in the comments that'll be like, well, this is just post COVID. People can't handle going in the office anymore. Like you get up and you get ready for work. We'll say you get up if she's got an hour and a half commute. I don't know, get up at 6:30 or whatever, start getting ready or 6. Prepare, eat, commute, be at the job starting at 9, work until 5, commute back home. You're home at 6:30, feed yourself, and you got 3 hours before you got to go to sleep.
Yeah, to do it all over again.
So you get like a full 8 hours or whatever, something like that, and then you do it all over again. This is I went through this. I remember like thinking like, oh, I'm done with school. I have a real job now. And then going, this is my life. Midlife crisis time. This transition here blows. And to the people that are like hating on her, being like, oh, you just can't handle it, oh, snowflake, whatever like that. I find it more sad that people find this living like this to be okay. And we're going to get more. We'll get more into that. We're going to explain more what I mean on that.
Okay. All right.
As we go through it, because I know some of you are like, what? Oh, really? What do you mean? We'll come back to it. Let's finish what she says.
I literally get off. It's pitch black. Like I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like how do you have time for like dating? Like I don't have time for anything, and I'm like so stressed out. And I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional. But like, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
I love the way she ends it too. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So how do you feel about it, Dane? Do you feel like she's right to be upset as the realization of what the rest of her life is going to be like in the workspace?
So I almost completely agree with her because I remember, whether it was a 9-to-5 or that second shift job where you're like one to close,
Yeah.
There's just not enough time to be social, and I don't know, do your enjoy your hobby at the same time, and then I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I've also always traditionally been awful with time management, so like it makes it even worse. But like,
yeah,
I almost get it. I felt like that when I had that normal job like that. It's like, dude, all right, just go do this, and that's it. every day.
What she's saying right here is exactly the reasons why I became a content creator to begin with. Whenever I first started doing YouTube, it was still like, I didn't actually know you can make money when I first started doing it. I just did it as kind of like a little side thing. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But once I figured out that I could make money doing it, I was like, this is what I'm doing. This is way better. I am so sick of being called in on my 1 day off, or my 2 days off.
Yeah, and then feeling guilty about it, like getting guilt tripped. Like, yo, you don't want to come in on your day off,
dude. I know.
No, like, dude, I don't.
The act of calling in sick, and like if you're like an introverted person that can't even like ask for them to fix your meal when you order it at a restaurant, calling in sick is like crushing. Like, I'm sick, but now I also feel terrible because because they make you feel so bad. Like, oh, you're sick, right? Yeah. You're like, yeah, I'm literally dying. If I come in, everyone's gonna get sick. Whatever. Yeah, so I decided I would rather do that, like working a part-time job but having full-time hours so that you don't get benefits.
Oh my.
Getting your 25-cent raise after working for a year after your review, and then like the new people that are getting hired are making more than you did because the starting wage is now higher.
Yep, the people you hire in under you make more money than you. Awesome.
You have to train the people, but then you're not fit to be management. Yeah. God, dude. Oh, all the aches and pains of workspace politics. I absolutely loathe those. So, the current 40-hour work week, it could be 9 to 5 or whatever. 40-hour work week. Maybe if you work a certain job, you work 36 hours a week and they mark you off for 40. There's job like I had it like the 12-hour job I said when I was doing order filling at the warehouse. We worked 3. Yeah. My whole weekend was work, and then they counted as 40. It seems like a good gig. Like only working 3 days a week. 12-hour shifts. Those were some hard shifts.
Those are not the best shifts. I assure you.
Those were very hard. But, I got the whole week to to think about the coming weekend. Like, no. Anyway, our current work week that we have now, our 40-hour work week, our 5 days a week. You may have seen memes about it before, like Henry Ford, right? Mm-hmm. Henry Ford. There's different ones being like, well, we have him to thank for our 40-hour work week, blah. But actually, he did everybody a favor. Now, let's not forget, first of all, Henry Ford hated Jewish people, okay? I'm not going to start celebrating the guy because he was a bigot and not a good guy in that aspect for sure. So, long time ago, here, we'll even Google it up.
All right.
The history of the 40-hour work week. We'll have a thing in here so you can see it. So you got like 1800s people working 80, 100 hours a week in labor unions, and then they moved to like 8-hour work days. Used to people worked 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours. They worked. All they did was work, and they got off on Sunday just so they could go to church.
Right, that's
the only reason they even got off that day. So Henry Ford came in. And he didn't do it because he was like, oh, these poor suffering people. No. He did some studies and figured out that people that work 5 days a week for 40 hours are more productive. Less time, but they work harder. And then they also have more time to themselves to spend the money he's paying them so they can go buy, a car.
Right.
And so it was very much business study oriented, right? And then that was like in the early 1926 is when he popularized it. And then like 1940, it became law. And I couldn't find it, but I was looking for it. I was looking everywhere for it. There was a radio clip of them talking about the 40-hour work week, and then them also projecting that the work weeks would continue to get shorter as people got more efficient and technology grew as well. Fast forward to 2023.
That's not happening.
That part didn't happen. Unfortunately, even like the Jetsons cartoon, like that really old cartoon, the Jetsons, the dude works like 2 days a week for like an hour. Like that's the future that they saw back in the day when they even making the cartoons. The future is going to be you barely work because everything is so streamlined and automated. It's going to be great. We're going to have like this nirvana of a future. But now here we are still working the 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. You can barely, people like old people, there's a report coming out that the retirees are starting to get part-time jobs now because everything is so expensive.
Right.
You know, your rent, your cost of living, all this stuff keeps going up, but people's money, how much they're making is not going up at an even rate. And then, you know, you hear people, if they raise the minimum wage, and that's just going to make the prices go up. And I go, well, the prices are going up anyway. Inflation still exists, you know.
That is happening, period.
That is going to happen regardless, right?
And then any event that allows them to charge more, they will. You know, like
Well, take COVID for instance. Like if you could go, my dad's a builder. He builds. He's been in construction all his life, and now he knows enough to where he can like contract and build houses. And so we have I have a little side thing going with him to where like we'll develop like a house every year or so and sell it. Okay. And then put that money back into it. So during the COVID times, the cost of OSB, which is like your fiber board that's like the walls that when they're building it, okay. It was they quadrupled in price. Actually, it may even be more. It was like the prices went through the roof. It was crazy. And they were talking about how, well, we just supply and demand, and then people that like work in the factories are like leaking pictures of like how much stock they actually have, and like everything's full. And I think there was like a class action lawsuit at some point, and then the prices came back down. But the prices came back down, but they didn't go back down to what they were.
Exactly. They're still a little bit higher. They
never go back down to what they were.
Man.
Just like your gas prices. Gas prices go up, but they never quite come back down to what they were. So it's like it's like a classic thing that businesses do a lot. Because I've called out like, you know, Twitch and people on Twitter being like they'll come out with like this really bad idea that everyone hates, and they'll roll back part of it to where it's still bad, but people are like, oh yeah, this is a step in the right direction. Thank you. But it's still worse than what it was.
Right.
It's the same thing with prices. Like take away inflation and all these other factors, that the prices just go up because in the end, the companies have a bottom line and they have stockholders and they have to make them happy because that's another very large part of the company and the valuation of the company, right?
Right.
I saw a report talking about how the inflation rate, first off, they tried to change the definition of what a recession is, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
No, really?
No one was having it. Yeah, they tried to, they had like a lady come up and like, well, we're changing the definition. Anyway, there's so much crap.
Are we in a recession currently?
Yeah, we've been in one. There's no way. But the thing about it is you look at the stock market, right? And the stock market keeps going up because people keep spending money and people keep doing that. And then the inflation rate also stays up until like people stop spending all their money. It's going to stay out of control in the inflation. Like they're going to keep going up with interest rates until people stop. Where I'm going with people keep spending their money while the stock market keeps looking good and it keeps going up no matter what. And it's weird. Even though everyone's suffering, is these companies are still getting all this money. People are still spending all this money. We have all these billionaires, and you have all your alpha dudes are like, you know, gargling every billionaire's balls they can. There's like, oh God. But the fact that billionaires exist and that their worth increased so rapidly in the last 5 years, there's a factor. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like they have to take a piece of everybody that works for them. If you're the boss, you make money for like every individual that works for you in the stuff they create, right?
Right.
So it's like stolen manpower or something like that. So it's like a thing. It may not be the right term, but anyway. So like to be a billionaire, you have to like be taking from so many people that are working for you, for yourself. Like it's considered for a lot of economy people, economists will say that it's unethical even that billionaires to the extent that we have even exist. Now, I'm not saying, communist, socialist, communist. No, I'm not going there. I'm just saying that these companies, the whole stock market is being held up by like a couple of companies right now anyway, and they are worth insane amounts of money. And then the people that are sitting on top are paying themselves insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
But the fact that people could be paid more and work less is worse on the economy for some reason. I don't understand. Anyway, okay, I'm just rambling now at this point. It just this whole conversation pisses me off when it comes to the how the economy is, and then the money printing the government has with our how much in debt the country's going into just in like the past few months. Because anyway,
yeah. Yeah. Quality of life can't even be a topic that we have because you're not getting to live the life. You're having to work. That is your life. You have to work to go afford those eggs. All right. I always complain about the eggs. I'm gonna tell you, man.
My God.
And so that's the eggs and the gas, and it's just it's insane.
And thank you, because that's where I was heading with this whole spiel and this whole rant, is that quality of life seems to be the last thing that anybody cares about. Everyone seems to be out to make money for themselves. As far as you got like the housing markets, you know, people like that have their Airbnbs, they go buy up all the housing markets so they can rent them to people. And that takes houses off the market, which in turn makes the housing prices go up. And then I'm going to talk about BlackRock, you know, go Google that if you want to be really depressed. How they pretty much run everything. But yeah, it's like quality of life. What life is there to live now other than just to work? It's modern day slavery, in my opinion. And
it is. And then we wonder why, like, mental health is where it is now, right? It's because so many people have realized this is their life. This is all they can do right now is go work to make someone else money because, you know, the guys at the top don't mind just taking from everybody.
Well, then you even got like within the government, you have insider trading, right? But they can legally do it. Like the people that are making the rules that are going, they know what's going to pass and what's not going to pass, are able to buy stocks in those companies before the stuff passes.
Before it passes, right.
And they're the ones that have to hold themselves accountable, like they're ever going to do anything about it.
Right. So when the common man gets back at him with GameStonk,
oh no! You know, if the common man does anything like that, then they're in trouble.
That's the guy. Exactly.
That's insider trading, and you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Yeah, don't do that. And I'm also speaking from a position of privilege too, because like I don't have to work these jobs anymore. Sure, I do have to make videos. You know, we have to record them every day. I now have Scott that works for me and edits the videos, so I don't have to do any of that. Keon edits for the other channel. So my day-to-day work life is nothing like it ever used to be. I got it really good now. But just watching the world, I feel bad for people. Like the lady here that we even started watching begin with to start this conversation. It's like, this is a normal thing. And then people are surprised that the world sucks. Like everyone's miserable. There's so much crime because everybody's, it sucks. Everyone's broke. No one can enjoy their life. No one can enjoy the good things. Anyway, you didn't expect that out of this video, did you? Me neither, really. I just kind of went with the flow. I'm sure that there's probably a debate of something that I've said wrong in the comments or whatever, but that's how I feel. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that cool stuff. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. Say toast to my friends. I love you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
It's fine.